What up? What up? What up? This is Mike the Philosopher, along with Sean B. All right, we may have some others joining us later. We'll see. But this story is about BLM, Black Lives Matter PAC, and they burned through almost all its cash reserves in the first quarter. Okay, now let me get into the story. All right, the Black Lives Matter PAC siphoned away almost all of its cash reserves during the first 3 months of 2022. Hold on. How do you siphon? How do you get rid of practically all your cash in 2022? Who did you help? Who are you helping at this point? What is the agenda? These are all questions I got. With the largest chunk of funds going to a firm owned by BLM board member. Wait a minute. The largest chunk of funds going to a firm that's owned by BLM. So they siphoning off all the money to their own private firm. I could be wrong. Let me go back in. BLM PAC ended March with just $20,000 in the bank after raising $80,000 and spending $116,000 during the first quarter, according to filing submitted to the Federal Election Commission on Friday. The group has burned through nearly 94% of its available cash reserves. Okay. 94% of its cash reserves since the start of 2021, when it controlled a $305,000 war chest. So I guess that's what it had. Bowers consulting firm, a company ran by BLM board members, Shalomia Bowers, was the highest paid BLM PAC vendor during the first quarter of 2022, having received $45,000 from the PAC for strategic consulting services. So you guys are strategically consulting. You wrote yourself a check for $45K. Consulting who? We don't know. It's just it looks away. And look, I didn't write this article. The article was written, and apparently it looks suspicious to other people too. Let's get into it. Alias Law Group, the law firm run by Democratic lawyer Mark Elias, received $8,000 for legal services rendered to BLM during the period. And then the Perkins Cole law firm received another $8,300 for compliance services. BLM PAC donors would be surprised to know their contributions were being paid to BLM insiders and consultants rather than electing their favorite candidates for the midterm election. Yes, they would. They will be very surprised to know their money is going to law firms and consultants than the people that they are trying to elect in the midterms. This is why they're donating the money, especially if that is the premise upon how you came upon the money. If you came upon the money saying, we're fighting for our electoral candidates, so forth and so on, then that's what you should be doing. Now, I'm not saying you don't have no expenses, no legal expenses or anything like that, but you're going broke already? That's a problem. It says that BLM PAC is affiliated with the BLM Global Network Foundation, the national BLM group that has weathered months of escalating criticism for spending millions of its charitable dollars on mansions in LA and Canada. Yeah, they have been spending some money in mansions. I seen a story not too long ago, actually. I think she spent like, I want to say around $6 million for this place in LA. I could be wrong. Let me get your take on this, Sean. What are your thoughts on the BLM? Because I know you have a theory upon where you say that they are not necessarily working for the people. They're not working for us. What are your thoughts?
Well, BLM, I feel as though it was a hashtag and a statement that caught wind. And I feel as though, like with any movement, you'll have some people who come in and trying to monetize it. And I feel like right now, those who are being wrote about in these articles are the people that I'm speaking on, where, now again, I haven't read too deeply into why these homes were purchased. I haven't read too deeply into why they're making the type of moves that they're making. But I guess to me and a lot of other people, it sounds suspicious, because I guess their motives aren't transparent.
Well, the motives don't seem to be. I mean, they're doing everything pretty much in plain sight. I don't know. I got a little echo from you, man. I might have to mute you again for that. They do seem to be doing things in plain sight. Like I said, they have purchased mansions in LA. I thought it was just LA, but the article is saying they purchased one in Canada as well, while simultaneously stonewalling the release of its financial disclosure to the public. Let me just say this, man. I'm very for equal rights. All right, I'm so for BLM and Black Lives Matter. I am for all of this stuff. But one thing I do not want to happen is for it to be co-opted for some kind of ulterior motives. Now, the weird part is, I don't know if y'all know Dr. Umar Johnson, right? Dr. Umar Johnson, he was said to have had a school. He was trying to get a school. And everybody, and he's an activist. He's a black activist, if you don't know. So shout out to Umar Johnson. And he was having a hard time. People were always questioning what he was doing with the money. But it's ironic, though, that it doesn't seem like, now I know people are just recently doing this, but people have the same questions with BLM, like, what are you doing with the money? And it's funny how we just getting to this point with BLM, because I'm sure this was probably happening a long time ago. Now, I don't know for sure, but it's weird that it has siphoned off practically all of its money with just in the third, what did they say, the third quarter or the first quarter. It is ridiculous. And we're talking about a lot of money. Now, I know you got to pay lawyers. I know you got to pay this, but do you need that $6 million house in LA? Like, is this become a come up for you instead of doing what you say you're going to do with the funds, like help finance some of your candidates for the midterms?
So the question that I have is where did that money come from? Let's begin.
Donors. Came from donors.
Right, but where do we donate?
Well, you can go. You can donate many ways. You can go to the website, and you can. I'm not sure about all of their collecting abilities or how they collect their money, but you can. They get money. Okay. Some companies have them as one of their, foundations that they regularly donate with. We got Kamal Aristo that's going to be joining us here pretty soon too. Yeah. Okay. Kamal Aristo. What's going on? That's a dope logo, bro. We're talking about Black Lives Matter, man, and they're pretty much burning through all of their cash reserves in the first quarter already. What do you think about that, man? They went through 94% of all their cash reserves in the first quarter.
They did.
Yeah,
amazing.
They burned through all of it. Now,
Wow.
some might say that, maybe they shouldn't have bought that $6 million house in LA. Maybe they shouldn't have bought that $1 million house in Canada. Maybe they should ease up on the spending a little bit. Maybe they should spend the money on what they're telling the donors, which is we're going to be financing, you're financing the midterm elections for the candidate of your choice, because that's apparently that's what they're telling them. And the money is going to everything but that. It seems like everybody's getting paid though. Lawyers getting paid, private firms are getting paid, a lot of stuff. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's politics to me at the end of the day. I don't really follow the Black Lives movement that much. I don't know too much about it, how they spending their money or whatnot, It ain't really benefiting the people at all.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with it. Like, you got to be at a point where you are helping the people, especially the people who are making the donations. And if you are really for Black lives and they really do matter, then you need to show that. You need to show that, because what you're doing is taking advantage of people's, I guess you could say, heartstrings, and you're actually living off of this mantra instead of actually doing something actively about it.
Would be a way that they can show that.
What's that?
What's a way that they can show that they're for the people, or what's a way that y'all feel can help the people?
Well, there's a lot of ways they could do that. There's a lot of ways. Turn me down a little bit, Sean. I'm getting an echo from you. There's a lot of ways they could do that. And the ways they could do that is, I can name a couple. One is they could actually give some money to some people who have members who passed away, maybe due to police brutality, maybe due to something of that sort, like George Floyd family. Give them some money, help them out. Maybe pay their lawyer fees. That's what they should be doing. How about you pay their lawyer fees so they don't have to worry about it right now? Or what you could do is people who have been wrongfully prisoned, they could help pay for them a lawyer, not just a court-appointed lawyer, but a decent lawyer that can help them get out of that situation, or maybe you can help bail them out. There are a lot of different ways that they could move, and those are just some off the top that I can think of. If you really for Black Lives Matter, then you need to be showing it. you know. But that's a good question though. What can they be doing? That's one of the things. Maybe helping to build, even build businesses, build or help seed entrepreneurs who are trying to who may come up short on a bank loan and need some escrow, or need like a down payment or something to get it to secure a loan or something like that. They could be doing that. There's a lot of things that they could be doing to really help out families in need, especially those in the minority sector, because oftentimes they get railroaded if they ain't got no money. If they got a public defender as their defender, they're gonna get railroaded in court. Maybe what's his name, Crump. Maybe they could hire Crump for more jobs or this, that, and the third. There's a lot of things that they could do. It's endless, but I'm gonna tell you, man, it's not looking good for the people of BLM, especially the front office, because it's looking like they're not using the funds responsibly. I'll just put it that way. You got any words, Ski? The national BLM group voluntarily shut down its ability to raise charitable funds on February 2nd following a Washington Examiner investigation into its lack of financial transparency. Oh, so they haven't even been transparent with how they've been spending money, which prompted multiple states to issue demands to the group to cease its fundraising activities. Now you got people after you. Now they ain't gonna even support you no more. The revelation that BLM PAC is also in dire financial straits comes after the group hit the scene with a splash in October 2020 and raised 1.5, well, a little over $1 million by the end of the year. BLM PAC claimed to be a force to be reckoned with in February 21, saying that $746K is spent on the Georgia Senate race in 2020 played a pivotal role in securing victory for Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. Now, I don't know about that. I don't know. They say they spent 746. If they say so, but they haven't been transparent. So can you really believe that? I don't know. And you think your money is what made them win? Really? I don't believe that part. When cash was flowing into BLM, the groups paid $150 to an art film run by the father of BLM co-founder Patrice Cullors, only child to co-produce an election night live stream that industry experts said should have cost a fraction of the price to produce. So now they doing stuff to, it's almost like washing. Like, I don't want to say money laundering, but it's like, if you're co-founder and you have a father and he has a production company or whatever, and you overpay him to do a live stream or whatever film that he did, it's a way to get money to him for services rendered that is well above market value. So it's looking sketchy. Now, which one of y'all think that this is pretty much a witch hunt? That they just doing this because it's BLM? They're not doing this to other fundraisers? And do you think even other fundraisers and organizations like this is doing some of the same stuff and just not getting called out for it. Sean, Ski?
I mean, Black Lives Matter. Who is the founder of this organization?
I mean, I'm not
the author of this book. You know, then going into who this person is. You know, his whole background. You know, just like they do.
No, it ain't a he. It's women. It's and I could be wrong, but I think it's members of the LGBTQ women. It's not any black men or anything.
Okay. There we go. It's a group of LGBT people.
Yeah, but do you think that there are other organizations and fundraisers that are doing some of the same stuff but just not getting called out for it because, you know, they're considered, you know, different type of fundraisers? Like, do you think they're getting targeted because they're black or they represent black people?
There we go.
And some of the other organizations are doing some of the same stuff. What do you think, Sean?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, man. I mean, it sounds like they move's not transparent. I really can't tell you what they trying to do. They're not really transparent. It look like they like fun on off money. Look like.
Wait, I can't hear you, man. Speak up a little bit.
It look like it just their move's not transparent, more or less.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm asking is, do you think they're being targeted because they support black people?
To be honest, I believe that, and this is just me speaking, any organization that forms that really supports black people, I feel like it is targeted. And I don't want to get too deep, but history has shown us that is kind of true in America.
Yeah, well, let me say this. I just think that the truth probably is somewhere in the middle. I think that they are being targeted, but at the same time, they're not being transparent enough. And I have seen some questionable workings as far as how they spending money. And that's unfortunate because I have seen some excessive spending by some of the founding members, and you keep talking about getting people elected, and you moving in the ways that you're moving. You can't help but to wonder how they're moving. You can't help but to wonder if your money is going to be spent on the sole purpose that it was intended on being spent on. Like if I want Raphael to be governor or whatever, and I'm giving you money based on Raphael. First of all, I don't even know why people would go to BLM to try and get a candidate elected and not just go to the candidate themselves and donate through the candidate directly. I'm sure there's a way that you can donate to them directly instead of going through the BLM organization. So that puzzles me a little bit. I don't see how BLM is going to get anybody elected. It's just actually it probably may even repel some people because some people may not agree with that organization, so they're not going to support this person. that's with them. You know what I mean? It's too risky to put your name next to an organization that could be considered kind of controversial or kind of, you know, polarizing. So I don't know why people don't just go to the candidate directly. That baffles my mind. I would have to look more into that. But you know, I do agree with the ideology of BLM. However, I think that's probably where it begins and ends. I don't necessarily all the way agree with the people in charge. I don't necessarily agree with what they're sort of pushing other than BLM, the Black Lives Matter itself. I don't know what they're trying to push or agendas. I don't trust how they are spending the money. So there's a lot of things I don't agree with. The only thing I rock with is the slogan, really, and that's probably where it begins and ends. But we're gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for joining us. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.